There are two beliefs I hold about programming. One, program as if you know your data, because you always do, pretty much. Two, you should program as if you are a good programmer, or at least your current level, and as you get better. Don't program for someone lower than you if you're just making things for yourself. So with that in mind, I want to show you this simple easing library that I made. It's 150 lines. I've used it in a few game prototypes here. And you can see it's sort of bouncing this green square around on the screen. If I hover over this pale blue square, it has a hover effect. I can press spacebar to move this thing. If I hover over it, sorry, it's going to go back to where it was. All right, so let's have a look at this. How does it work? First, I'll show you the usage code. So it's pretty simple. I've got this struct, which is an ease pool. This is like the manager, I guess, if you want to think of it like that, of all of the easings, or the eases. And we have to initialize that with a procedure, and that's basically how you set it up. Then to use it, you can use the method, the create method on here to create a new ease. You pass it in these values. It's got a target, which is just a pointer to an unknown number of float 32s, a to value, which is what you're going to ease to, a duration for the ease, a count for how many floats you're pointing at, and an easing type. So there's a few types. There's linear, cubic in, cubic out, and a couple other ones. I haven't added all of them, just the ones that I needed. You can also send in a procedure for the onDone callback. So when an easing is finished, it'll call this function if it's done, and it'll give you access to the ease itself. And you can also pass in a user data pointer for anything else that you might want access to. So I'll show you that in a second. So here you can see we've created two rectangles. Here are their colors. And here is the first animation we're creating. We're just going to choose a random spot. So choosing a random spot is this function here. When this animation is finished, it's going to choose a random spot. And then when this animation is finished, it's going to choose a random spot. So this is just going to keep going forever, which is pretty cool. Now, how we did the detection is we just did simple booleans to detect if the cursor is inside the square. And then we just check if it was inside last frame, and it's not inside now. This is a hover. And then if it is inside now and it wasn't inside, oh sorry, the other way around. If it's inside now and it wasn't inside last frame, this is a hover, and then this is a leave or an exit. And we just create a simple easing here, cubic out in both of those. And we have to call this function every frame, so we have to update all of the easings. And we pass in delta time to know how far in time we've moved, and that's pretty much it. We can just draw whatever we had, which is just this code here, and that's all. So let's have a look at the actual code base itself. I have sinned Odin gods. I have used the vtable, which allows you to use this notation here. So I like this in Odin because you can create what are essentially methods, but they're not exactly methods. They're just functions that pass in the pointer to the struct as the first argument automatically, which I quite like. And I use this for things like managers or things where you've got only one of them. Like you might have a renderer, which renders your 3D objects or whatever. I would use that for the renderer. So you could do like renderer, draw cube, renderer, draw, whatever. I think it's quite useful. That's kind of a bit of an aside. So we've got an ease here, which is just a pointer to the floats that you're going to ease. I've set it to a cap of, just 4, because I only really ever want to animate things up to a vec 4. I don't really have anything else I'm going to animate. Maybe if I did splines or something, I might change this to add more floats here, and that would be no problem. This is not a safe library though, so you can just pass in, a pointer to however many float 32s you want, set this count to like 10, and it's just going to start clobbering your data. So that's something to be aware of. It's pretty straightforward though. We've got the start, which is the starting point of the animation, the end of the animation, how many things are animating, the current time value, how long it's going to animate for, which type of easing it's using, and then the generation is because we're using a generational handle or generational index system. If you don't know about that, see my handles video. And then we've just got, the onDone, user data, and we've got a pool, like a reference to the pool itself. So if you wanted to, in the onDone callback, you could create another animation using this pointer, which we've done actually. So that's the data, the easing types, handles, and all we do is store them in a dynamic array. When we initialize the pool, we just set up this is just setting up the vtable basically. And this code here is just getting an empty slot if there is one. So if you want to know how this all works, check out the handles video, as I already said. We've got a function here to check if an ease is complete. And down here, this is the create function. So this is really the meat and the potatoes. Well, I guess update is the meat and the potatoes. But here we go. We create, pass in all our parameters. We assert, in this case, that we have less than or equal to 4 floats. That's just my, well, I guess I said it was unsafe, but I forgot I added this assert here. Then we copy our to value into the start and end arrays. So even though we pass this in as a pointer, we actually copy the data into the ease struct so we don't lose it. So we don't have to keep this memory alive on the other side. Just set up all the values here, then update all, just iterates over all of the easings and does its apply function, which is just a switch statement. And then if it's done, it calls done. And that's pretty much it. So this is 150-ish lines. It's really useful. I've used it in a bunch of things already. And just goes to show that you don't need heavy-duty solutions for a lot of these kinds of problems. So yeah, I hope you found this interesting. I'll put the code in the description. I mean, a link to the code if you want to check it out for yourself. And thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one.